Hi guys, We the Forest Folk here. Hopefully you're having a great day, but I just wanted to make this video just in regards to recent things going on within the games industry, especially with the recent talk of prices going up with games and with the delay of GTA 6 being one of those very heavily talked about with a price raise of nearly $100, which is crazy to think about. And this leads to one of the first points I really wanted to address. How is it that we have the price of inflation is inevitable. It's something that's going to happen. Prices are going to go up, but to have games cost as much as they are and push the price of them up to what they're going to be, especially with Nintendo being the first to do this as well, which is honestly absurd. Then you have games that come out like Expedition 33 in Oblivion, which leads me to talk about their price point of them both being like a $50 game, $60 here in Monopoly Land in Canada. And to no surprise, we recently just had the Mafia Old Country trailer drop. And to everybody's surprise, the game is actually priced at $50 American, 60 Canadian, which is kind of shocking. Because if you can see from the gameplay footage we have on here, the game looks fantastic. And I feel like this is a sign that people are waking up, or companies rather, are waking up to, we need to be making games that people will buy.
Hello, I like money.
Not games that just look good and play like shit. Whereas we got Expedition 33 and Oblivion that both look good and play well. They don't have microtransactions in them, to some degree. To enjoy the game to its fullest, you just buy the game, and that's how games used to be. And it's very funny to see this, which that leads into my second point. How is it that these are single player games doing this in 2025? I find this hilarious that from over the years, especially the last decade or so, companies have been forcing live service on us and saying this is how things are going and this is what we're doing. And well, it's kind of failing spectacular. I mean, we have things like Marvel Rivals that actually provide the service that they're trying to provide. And then we have things like Assassin's Creed Shadows and Veilguard, a live service game dressed up as a single player, which is unfortunate. I think these people and studios and investors are starting to wake up, but it's only a matter of time to see whether or not that is the case. But moving on to my third point, honestly, it has to be the fact that these games like Expedition 33 and Oblivion, and especially past cases like Baldur's Gate, these smaller studios are able to work on these games and really imprint who they are into the development as they go, and really get the creativity that we love to see in video games just brought to life. And honestly, looking forward to seeing what like this little branch of Bethesda is going to do, and the Expedition 33 team, because like they've honestly knocked out of the park. And they didn't just focus on graphics, and this is something that people really need to understand. The games look beautiful. They are two of the most beautiful games we've seen in 2025 by far, and it's astonishing to see something like this. But they didn't just focus on how the game looks, they focused on how the game plays, the experience. And unfortunately, a lot of games made now don't feel like a good experience. They just feel like a second job, and I don't think really a lot of people want a second job like that. If you enjoy the games like that and the live service in the way that is, do it. That's all the power to you. But I don't think it's rewarding for most players to experience this all the time. Like, going back and looking at like a lot of games that people have loved in the last 2-3 years generally have been these solo single player game experiences, or multiplayer games that don't require such egregious monetization or waste of people's time, which is it's more desirable. People people love it. Like Helldivers, for example, is another great example. One that has microtransactions. It doesn't waste people's time in the way that a lot of the other modern AAA games do. Assassin's Creed Shadows is a great example. They put microtransactions in the game that you can just do stuff in the game for, but why would you do that when you can just buy the map pack? I saw Code Carnage go through that. Bro, that was crazy. That was crazy. How do you put that in a AAA game and expect people to want to play that? You're gonna kill your own game that way. And as we've seen evidently with Ubisoft, the sales, the player numbers, everything's been going down. But I just wanted to touch a few points on that. I just want to know what anyone else thinks in the comments down below. But it feels good to see companies like publishers like 2K or the people behind the Mafia series here actually charging a fair price for the game, rather than just being like, whoa, everyone else is raising the price, I'm gonna do it too. Because it seems these smaller, more concentrated experiences are what people are focusing on, and hey, I'm all here for it. Thank you as always. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. Live your best fucking life, guys. No one else is gonna do it for you. That's gonna be all. Bye.